snow day. So normally I'd be at work today, but it's a snow day. So I am teaching remotely, but it's given me time. It's given me time to walk the dog, and of course I've got to pop over to the plot because I've never seen it in the snow. So we're just heading up there now. I don't think you can resist wanting to see your plot in the snow. My cardboard is all buried, probably getting too damp. Oh well, let's see what's poking up through the snow. Let's look at my raspberries. So this is actually a new raspberry that's gone in since I put the 6 in the other week. This is a 4 gold yellow raspberry, and you know my spacing wasn't perfect. There was quite a big gap between these two. So I just shunted these two along a little bit more, and then I put this one in the middle. So we'll have one red variety, a yellow, and then the other red variety. So it will split the two up, which I thought was quite nice. But they all look fine. Just little sticks popping up through the snow. Oh, looks like something's collapsed on Jim's side. Oh dear. The leeks and the wallflowers. Obviously they'll be fine. This is a good way to see just how many of the onions and garlics did come up. I love to see onions sticking up out of the the garlic sticking up out of the snow. It's just like, it doesn't care. Like, bring it on. There are the trees and the currant bushes, all perfectly fine. Oh, the lens might be a bit wet now, but I'm glad I got a chance to come down, because I think the snow is going to turn to sleet and rain later today. So I might not have captured it if I'd had to drive into work this morning. So that was nice. Yeah, we're due rain really for like 2 weeks now. Pretty much solidly, or so the forecast says. Obviously we need it because that was a really dry February, so it'll be good for getting my my cardboard to dampen and decompose a bit, help the worms to work their way through and get to the compost on top, I guess. But there won't be much I can do around here. What I have been doing, and when we get home, maybe not today because I am sort of teaching solidly today, but at some point I'll show you all the things I've been sewing. Yeah, I finally got some sewings on the go. In fact, put some more sweet peas to soak this morning. But I've done flowers, and I've done, try not to fall over, I've done different kinds of flowers. The gazinias have started coming up, the alyssum, some Rebecca. I've done some brassicas, lettuces, a little bit spring onions, some celery, some kind of some Asian greens and things. What else? But got quite a lot sort of started that can be started in the house. Haven't done anything that wouldn't be in the greenhouse. Certainly haven't direct sown anything because obviously knew this cold snap was coming. I think they're saying -5 is coming in a couple of nights. So yeah, holding off from anything that would have to deal with this weather, and instead just things that need the warmth anyway, and will be in my little mini greenhouse on the windowsill. Or in the propagator. So some more sweet peas to do. I've got some more flowers that I want to sow, and another thing that was about, well, it's almost time for the tomatoes obviously, but I am holding off. I was going to do them this weekend, but I think I'll wait till next weekend now. We'll see how excited I get. But also space is a consideration, because I'm kind of filling it all up with with flower seeds and things at the moment. Anyway, right, I'm getting cold. My hand is getting cold holding the phone. So, time to go home, Dory. Hey, is it time to go home, Dory? Oh, you're a wet dog. Come on then. Come on then. Let's go teach some students. Well, this is unexpected. I have to put my bear onesie hoodie up. Yeah, I walked the dog last night and it was raining and it all seemed to be going, and they've woken up and we've got heavy snow and the ground is covered again. What do you think, Dory? Not much gardening to be done today. We'll see what the weekend brings. It's going to be -5 tonight, apparently. I had been covering my poor little cordyline because they're new into the ground. I know they're hardy, but they are new into the ground, and I've seen so many dead ones around. Is it fun, Dory? Is it fun? Go on then. They've got a snowy beard. Oh, and the cordylines, yeah. So I had them covered, and then I uncovered them last night because I didn't think we were getting any more snow, and now they're covered. In snow, not fleece. I don't think they like having their leaves covered like this. So I'll probably go round and brush the snow off all of those. Poor little hellebores all got their heads down on the ground. Shall we see what's happening in the greenhouse, Dory? Stop eating the snow. I brushed the snow off the greenhouse yesterday to allow the light in, but I suppose it is insulating. But I've brought in here, I've got the fig tree in here, the mulberry, my ornamental cherry. I brought those in just to protect them. Everything else was already in here. Oh, and the brain work. It's too early in the morning. Camellia with its one bud. I will not lose that one bud. There's the hotbed. Yeah, no, not doing much. Ranunculus look okay. Still not blooming. I doubt they will for a little while. Look at the Taunton Dean Kales though. they have really come into their own in the last few days. Well, a couple of weeks. I trimmed the tops off them, and they seem to have really enjoyed that. Loads of new growth on them. Broad beans are fine. Sweet peas in the autumn sowings are closed up in the mini greenhouse in the flimsy. There's my ranunculus that I actually grew from the corms. These ones that are almost in flower were bought from the garden centre. And my salad bar is absolutely fine, looking fantastic. All right, Dory. Somebody wants to play in the snow. Yeah, some of them have actually started bolting, so all right, Dory. The pak choys and these ones, is that Mizuna? Those have started to bolt now, so need to eat those up. But yeah, looking fine in the greenhouse. Cold out there. Let's come inside and look what's germinating from all the seeds I sowed the other day. So at the top of the flimsy, we've got kales coming up. So there's, what is there? Curly kale, Ethiopian kale, Cavolo Nero. We have got some beetroots coming up too. I didn't label all the different varieties of beetroot because there are just so many, so they are just beetroot. Have had some little fungus gnats being caught on the paper. Chilies, aubergines, peppers, onions, all doing fine. I like the, get out of the way, the little mushrooms that are growing alongside them. I gave the onions a trim. I haven't grown onions from seed before, so I didn't even know that was a thing, but I saw it on Instagram, so I did it. Any roots on the basil yet? Doesn't look like it. Something is eating the leaves though. Something is in there. I don't think fungus gnats do that, do they? And on the lower level, oh, look at all the lettuces. So I sowed the lettuces, or tried to sow them, 2 seeds per cell, and then I will thin to 1 seed. Some have 3 in. Yeah. And then what's going on in this tray? This is more kales and cabbages and cauliflowers, and they're all coming up. That's good to see, but no spinach yet. That's not come up. I thought spinach would be a fast germinator. Okay, let's look in the propagator. So some life in here. What do we got? At the end is the Allotment. No violas yet. No Rebecchias that side, but these are Rebecchias here. So they've come up really well. No scabious yet. These are gazinias along here. So they've come up. Oh, that is Rebecca. Oh, yeah, both Rebecchias have come up. There we go. Nothing in this section, which is parsleys and coriander and comfrey. Oh, might be 1 comfrey germinating just there. Will it focus? No. And at the end here is straw flowers. So straw flowers need light to germinate. So this strip wasn't covered in any soil, and they're coming up on this side, not so much this side. Not sure why that would be. Yeah, and this little pot is meant to be the Cape gooseberry, but no action in there so far. So this is on heat. It's not massively hot, It's an old propagator, but just enough. And I have got it by the radiator as well. Not too close, but yeah, it's benefiting from the heat of the radiator. And the only other thing to show, I guess got really comfortable with this vlogging thing to not mind that I'm going to be on YouTube with my morning hair and no makeup on or no shower or anything. The only other thing to show you that's going on in the house is I'm soaking some sweet peas. This is kombucha and kefir, but here are the sweet peas. So I'm soaking them this time. I know somebody said on the comments about soaking them, and I did. I soaked my autumn ones and they worked great and the germination was pretty good. Obviously I've lost most of those over the winter, but those ones that I did as kind of, when did I sow them then? February? The February sown ones I didn't soak, and germination has been sporadic. So I'm soaking these ones, and I've got some perennial, some annual, some dwarf. I had 24 hours soaking now, so they can be planted. I may just leave them a little bit longer. I mean, I'm not going outside to do any sowings, but luckily I do have my sowing compost in the kitchen to keep warm in case I did feel compelled to do any sowings while we're in this terrible weather. But yeah, I think today, wet dog walk, hey Dory, and then just a work day. Stay in, stay warm, and we'll see what the weekend brings. Have a good day. This is day 3 of the March cold snap, and the snow is about going now. It was very cold overnight last night. I don't have a thermometer in the garden, but the forecast said that from our region it was -8 last night, and I did cover everything up, and it all looks fine this morning, so that's good. And it should now be warming up. Oh, little robin has come to see me and gone. So I'm just walking the dog this morning in the last of the snow. I think it'll all be gone by the end of today. The sun is glorious. So yeah, what a fun few days. It's nice to have snow. It's nice that it doesn't last too long though. Welcome to the garden, or the greenhouse. It's finally warm enough to come out here and do something. So last night temperatures were like 2 degrees, so fairly back to normal for this time of year. Tonight the low is going to be 10 degrees. So we've gone from -8 to 10 degrees within 2 days. That's the kind of weather that you, I guess, deal with, and the kind of oscillation of temperatures. So I have brought out, I'm putting the flimsy here, the lettuce seedlings and the brassica seedlings. They'll be fine in here tonight. When the temperature dips again in a couple more nights' time, I'll have to have a judgment call and think about whether they're going to be okay in here or not. Advice welcome. I'm in here right now to do some seed sowing, and I'm going to show you some of the seeds that I'm sowing. But the first thing I'm going to do is pot up some comfrey crown cuttings. I'll just show you some examples. Some of these may root better than others, if any root at all. There's quite a good one. So you've got the new growth coming of the crown attached. So I know a local spot where comfrey grows just massively, insanely, and I don't think it would harm it to take a few little, I don't know whether this is called a basil cutting because you've got part of the crown, but anyway, a few little cuttings. The plant itself will be absolutely fine, if not reinvigorated. and I hope that I can get some comfrey plants that I then can put on the allotment, because there is no comfrey on my plot, and comfrey is so good for creating plant food, for getting that long tap root and drawing up nutrients to the plants above it, and for putting on the compost as well. So I took a few cuttings and I'm just going to pop them up. I did some the other day, one I made earlier, first time I've been able to say that, and they seem okay so far. I haven't dug in to see if there are any roots forming, but yeah, they seem alright, seem pretty firm in there. So I'm going to do a few more because I'm not sure what percentage of these will actually take. I bought comfrey last year from Real Seeds and it came like this. That's what it looked like when it arrived, and that's now planted out in the garden. I think that's probably the good comfrey, the non-invasive comfrey. I don't know, it didn't say on the website, but I think you got like 4 cuttings or something, and at least 2 of those I was able to get into mature plants. Now I didn't add any rooting powder with the last lot, but seeing as I have all this rooting powder, I'm just going to sprinkle some on here and work it into the top layer of the compost. Will that make a difference? I don't know. And then I'm going to just stick these in, really. That was a nice quick job. Yeah, I'll keep you posted on how they get on, and hopefully have loads of little comfrey plants that I can put around the edges of my plots or beds on the plot. Okay, so next job for today is seed sowing. I feel slightly behind with my seed sowing. I don't think I am, but you get so influenced by what other people are doing. I am still holding off on my tomatoes. So today is it the 11th of March, which is the date that I sowed my second lot of tomatoes last year. So I did 2 sowings of tomatoes. I'm not doing 2 this year because what I found last year was by the time the tomatoes were in the ground and cropping, you would not have known which were which. So the later one quickly caught up with the first sowing. So I'm only going to do 1 sowing this year, unless obviously I killed them all, then I will have to do another one. And I'm just going to wait another week. Yeah, I feel there's still so many other things to sow and there's only so much space, and I feel like a week will not make much of a difference with the tomatoes. So holding off, and I'm going to do a full tomato episode because everybody loves tomatoes, don't they? We have to go through every single variety. In terms of what I'm sowing today, I have 2 piles. I have the needs heat pile and just needs a windowsill pile. So propagator, windowsill. Dory! Come on! Okay, where were we? Seed sowing. Okay, so I won't go through all of these because they're massive piles, but I wanted to shout out a couple of the seed companies that I've been buying from. If you're anything like me, you've used this cold weather to just massively indulge in seed buying. I don't need an excuse of cold weather, to be honest, but anyway, I found some new companies that I wanted to share. One is called Small Garden Sowing, and this is their wild garlic. They sell seeds in really small quantities, so if you have a small garden or you're like me and just want to try lots of different things, you can buy seeds at a price point that reflects how few seeds you're getting. And often we get packets of seed that might have 1,000 seeds in, and by the time you would use all of those, they're out of date anyway. So I thought it was a really good idea. I really like the cheap prices, and they had quite a good range. For instance, wild garlic. Now, I have tried to grow wild garlic before. I think I brought those seeds from the company Vital Seeds, who I do quite like. But I direct sowed them, and I don't think I direct sowed them in the right place, or probably at the right time. So I'm going to do this in modules or a pot this time, and fingers crossed get some wild garlic for the garden. I've got like these shady, just non-patches in the garden where something like this would thrive, I think, and make use of that space. So that's one of the things I'm going to sow. The other thing I'm going to sow, and this, I haven't bought seeds from Dobby's before, and actually they had I think it was 89p seed sale, and they had loads of varieties and things, and I wanted a white strawberry or pine berry, and I haven't found it like in the shops to buy a plant, so I'm going to try growing strawberries from seed, which I haven't done before. And this one's called Strawberry White Soul, an amazing little white strawberry which tastes like ripe pineapple. How delicious does that sound? So I'm going to give that a go. Other things I've got are Aquilegia. I've got my cosmoses out. I've got cosmoses from Heritage Organics, some Wilco's ones, but also quite a lot that I saved from cosmos that I saw last year and liked. So my cousin's cosmos, a lady I dog walk with and who has a plot, she had a beautiful white cosmos on her front last year, and she said I could take some of her seeds. So I've got a few of those. I've got verbena, but I have got quite a bit of verbena already now, and I'm hoping it's self-seeded, so I don't know if I'll sow that or not. Coreopsis. One of the difficulties when there is no picture on a seed packet is I forget what I was seduced by online, and now it's just a name and I don't feel bothered about it. I need to look at them online again to get excited about them. Agastache Licorice White. Bergmont. I've never sown this and I want it for bees, and I've never done Nicotiana either. I've seen it in the shops and I've seen it on garden as well, so I'm going to give that a go. So those all need about 18 degrees C, somewhere around there. 21 it's saying for the cosmos. Well, my propagator has one setting, so that's what they'll be growing at. So those are those ones. Now these ones can just go on a windowsill, and here I've got another kale. This one's Black Magic. Celeriac. Apparently you can grow celeriac at this point. My Charles Dowding calendar has told me now is the time for celeriac. This one is brilliant. I don't know if it's brilliant, that's the name of it. Got my radishes out. I am not good at growing radishes. Apparently the easiest thing you can grow. I've never grown a really good radish. French breakfast. Oh, that's a turnip, Tokyo Cross. This radish is Black Spanish. Isn't that, oh no, so March to April. Cherry Bell. Icicle, which I seem to just keep buying. I don't know how many packets I've got of icicle radish. I bought another couple of beetroots. This is the Rouge Crapondine. Crapondine? It's probably a better way of saying that. The carrot-shaped roots are extremely sweet and very dark red tinged stacks. I think this is like a heritage variety or an old beetroot, and apparently it's brilliant. I've seen it. I've seen other people talk about it, so I got that. And beetroot alto, which I had on my list on my phone as one that I wanted to buy, so I must have seen it somewhere. Some more violas. Ooh. grown asparagus from seed. I didn't do asparagus last year because I'm like, I don't want to wait 3 years or 2 years to get asparagus as from bare root asparagus plants. But now I've bought some seed because it was cheap. I don't know. I'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. Cutting celery. I'm not a big celery eater, but I reckon cutting celery might be the way to go. This is a real seeds. See, now Sarah Raven have beautiful packets, don't they? And the pictures of the flowers and vegetables are just gorgeous. You pay for it though, don't you? She's not cheap. But this is Zulu Prince, which is an Octotis fastuosa, which I've never heard of and never grown before. So we'll give that a go. And that's it. Does that seem like a lot? I rattled through them quite quickly, so now it doesn't feel like it's an awful lot, but it's going to take a lot of space. Okay, what I wanted to do, which somebody recommended in the comments, was try sowing my seeds with cocoa coir, but Wilco's was out, so I found these in the greenhouse, which must have come in sets at some point. So I think I'm going to mix this in with my potting compost. Might as well use it, hey. See how it goes, and then if it's nice, I'll actually invest and buy a big block to do more seed sowing, tomato seed sowing next week. Right, so half hour doing this, and that's a lovely, pleasant way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Thank you for joining me this week, for sharing in the crazy weather that we've had. And next week, tomatoes. Have a good week. Take care.